Hey guys, it's Syz, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to go over one of my favorite gun builds to run in Tarkov when I'm down bad. So this is the gun that I'll put on when I'm dying 3 raids in a row, and I just want to do work with a cheap gun. Speaking of doing work, I stream every day on twitch.tv/Syzba. I'm probably live now, so feel free to come check that out if you like this video. And without further ado, let's get into the gun build. Alright, so the gun I decided to use for this build is the AK-74M. This gun comes in from Prapor level 3 for about 39,000 rubles. The base stats for this gun are 53 for the ergonomics and 85 for the vertical recoil. With all the attachments on, look for the vertical recoil to drop to about 60 and the ergonomics to get a slight increase. Getting into the recoil pad now. The recoil pad is probably the only thing on this list that I would say is essential, mostly because of the price. So you'll see it comes in at Prapor level 2 for about 3,500 rubles, which is dirt cheap. It has a -5 stat for the recoil and a +2 ergonomics, which is just robbery for how cheap it is. It's basically essential for any budget build that you're going to run. So you just slap that on like that and go on to the next attachment. Alright, so the handguard I decided to run for my gun is the CAA RS47. It comes in from Peacekeeper level 2 for $104, and it has a -2 recoil and a +7 ergonomics, which is a pretty good boost. But the main reason I decided to run this is so I can put my hollow sight on top of it and have the sight at the end of my gun, as opposed to like way back here, right in your face. So you slap it on, you just take this off, put this on, and you're good to go. Okay, so for my grip, I decided to run with the RK4. The reason I chose this foregrip as opposed to some of the other ones is because you unlock it a little bit sooner and it's a little bit cheaper. So you get this one from Skier level 2 for 9,145 rubles. This gun has a -2 recoil, it has a +4 ergo, and honestly, you just slap it on like this, you're good to go, get a nice little stat boost. Alright, so for this muzzle brake, I decided to run with the PWS CQB. I thought about this one a little bit, but I ultimately decided to go with this one as opposed to others because on the flea market, it's around the same price as the traders. So for a trader, you get it at Skier level 3 for 15,615 rubles, versus the flea market where it's about 2,000 more expensive. Versus the alternatives where if you don't have Skier level 3, you're spending upwards to 50k on the flea market, which would kind of render the point of running this gun useless if you're going to spend that much on the muzzle. So to slap it on, you're just going to have to take this off, put that out there, put this on, good to go. Alright, last but not least, I chose the XPS-30 holographic sight for my gun. This is entirely preference, and you'll see that you lose -2 ergonomics with this, but I just prefer hollow sights, and honestly you can play around and choose whatever sight's comfortable. You don't have to copy exactly what I chose here. But I put it on right here. It's at the end of my gun where I like it, farther away view as opposed to at the front. And that's basically my gun right here. Alright, so as for the ammo, I usually, if I'm doing budget, I would just roll with the BT. No use spending BS, but BS is better ammo, so if you do have BS, what I would recommend is maybe loading one mag with BS and then popping it in your gun, and then having BT for your other mags. That's typically what I would do for a budget run, and works out pretty well for me. Alright, so that just about does it for this video. On the screen you can see the final version of the build. It's not the sexiest gun, but it does get the job done. So if you want to see more gun builds, if you have any suggestions on how to improve my gun builds, feel free to leave a comment, let me know. Tell me how you like the gun, and yeah, go get that juice, baby.